Hello, everybody. Mecha Zardex here. Back at it again to give you another quick episode on Zard's thoughts. Now, you might be thinking and wondering, dang, Zard posted 2 episodes in the same day? Yes, I did. Because in the first video I happened to drop earlier today, I was just kind of giving my raw thoughts and reactions to that first trailer that Nintendo posted out for Who is Emio. We just saw a dude flinching in a trench coat with a mask over his head, paper mask, and with a smile on it, and that's all. A 20-second trailer. And I was just kind of giving my raw thoughts and reactions for it, though. However, since the moment that I recorded that video up until now, Nintendo actually kind of went all out with all the information we kind of needed for this game, though. So I figured, hey, I might as well give you a little bit more of an updated video in terms of like everything that Nintendo has announced and my thoughts upon it, though, because now we officially know who is Emio, the man behind that smiling mask paper bag, though. And lo and behold, Nintendo came out with another trailer and or not really like a trailer, but just kind of like a more of an informational video for Emio. And we know the title of this game now. Emio, the Smiling Man, Famicom Detective Club. Now, whole shoot, I did not think that this new game that's like starring Emio and stuff was going to be a sequel to the Famicom Detective Club games. And if you remember or know anything about Famicom Detective Club, back in 2021, did manage to drop out a couple of remakes on the eShop, at least for us over here in America. They never got physical. They got physical in Japan, though. But no, we had the remakes for The Missing Heir as well as The Girl Who Stands Behind. Like, you can pick both of them up on the eShop for $60, or you can buy one or the other for like $30 a piece, though. I never thought that this would be the third game in the series. And, you know, it's been like 30 years since the original release of these back on the original Famicom, though. So I was like, man, that is crazy. But yeah, in this video, they had Yoshio Sakamoto sit down. He was the producer of the original ones back on the Famicom way back when. And then as well as, you know, us getting these remakes and stuff recently a few years ago. And now he is actually the producer again for Emio the Smiling Man, though. And that's just crazy to think, because I wasn't necessarily expecting this to be a mature rated, potentially horror game that Nintendo was doing for an already outstanding IP. I thought it might have been tied with Eternal Darkness or something like that, or going to work with some other third-party studio and something like that, even though it's going to be basically considered as a first-party game, though. But, you know, the fact that it is related with Famicom Detective Club, it makes a lot of sense, because even when I was going through and playing through The Missing Heir way back when in 2021, I was like, man, there was a couple of moments in that series where it did kind of get my heart to kind of jump a few beats and stuff. Like, they did have some freaky stuff. Yes, I know this is a visual novel series, which might put a lot of people off. Like, you know, some people like it, some people don't. But me being a huge Ace Attorney fan and stuff like that, I do like the visual novel series, as long as they have a good story to boot. And, you know, everything from this little interview that we got from Yoshio, I'm like, yes, I'll leave it up to him, because I'm pretty sure he's going to, you know, deliver on a great, outstanding story, though. So some people might not necessarily like the genre and stuff, and they were kind of expecting more out of this horror game, though. But the fact that it is rated mature, man, there's probably going to be a whole lot more moments in this game where it possibly get me to hop up out of my seat, at least for some brief moments, though. But Nintendo did manage to put out a little bit more information on their website as well, in terms of like an actual summary of what we can kind of expect from the game, though. So it is as follows. A student has been found dead. His head was covered with a paper bag with an eerie smile face drawn on it. Much like the victims of Emio, the Smiling Man, a killer of urban legend who is said to place such a bag over his victims' heads. As an assistant private investigator, you are tasked to helping the police solve this crime, which is reminiscent of a series of unsolved murders from 18 years ago. Has a serial killer returned, or is this the work of a copycat? Are these crimes inspired by the Smiling Man story, or the origin of it? Discover these answers to these questions and more as a member of the Itsugi Detective Agency in this intense story of suspicion, isolation, and fragility. Explore an interactive drama full of interesting characters. Continue the adventures of the Itsugi Detective Agency while the return of familiar characters, including the return protagonist from previous games, and Ayumi Tachibana, who is now playable in certain sections of the game for the first time in the series. Playing as the investigative duo, you'll need to learn a lot about the personalities and backstories of other characters if you want to discover the truth. Who is harmless? and who is keeping important secrets. Ask questions, reference your notes, and make connections. You'll have to order your thoughts and examine your leads carefully to draw the right conclusions. And that's basically the synopsis for Emio, the Smiling Man, Famicom Detective Club. So, looking at all of this, man, I'm genuinely excited for this game though, and we don't have to wait too much longer for this though. Gave us that tease last week, gave us all this information this week, and then they're turning around and saying, yeah, this game is going to be coming out on August the 29th. So if you're looking at this, is basically next month. The game is coming out though. And I guess one of the reasons why this might not have been necessarily included within the past Nintendo Direct we got in the month of June, probably sole reason of it is that number one, this is a mature rated game, so they don't want to kind of mix that in with all their other more so rated E or maybe teen games that they had previously slated on there. And two, it allowed it to have this unique marketing push, because I don't expect this game to sell gangbusters, like 5 million plus. I don't expect nothing like that though, but I know it can possibly at least try to hit 1 million and stuff. Like, I know the budget for this game probably isn't like substantially high or anything like that though. But for us visual novel fans out there, though, this is definitely going to be a treat right before we get that the Ace Attorney duology games right there, though. So I'm like, man, this is crazy though, because now we know all the rest of the games that Nintendo is planning to launch for the rest of this year though, and that basically occupies every month except for the month of December though. So that's just crazy to think about right there though. So yeah, man, can't believe Emio is part of the Famicom Detective Club series. Like, this is crazy. This is nuts. I certainly wasn't expecting this. But y'all gotta let me know down in the comment section down below what all do you think about all this new information on who is Emio. Now that we know that this man is basically like a serial killer and stuff, is your curiosity piqued in terms of you being able to pick up this visual novel game? Like, as I said, it's coming out on August the 29th. There is going to be a physical version for this one in comparison to those other two remakes we got back in 2021, where they were digital only. So you can pick it up eShop or buy it physical. I will be buying this game physical because I hated how I couldn't get the other two physical unless you were going to import it from Japan though. But that's going to basically do it in terms of today's video though. So if you really like this, make sure you're going to hit that like button, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that bell to stay up to date on all things video game related I feel like talking about and discussing. So remember y'all, until our video I make next, see y'all.